Now, we've all heard of Nanny McPhee, but you might not have heard of a Manny McPhee.
We talked about the rise of the Manny, a fella who is a nanny recently, and we got some interesting
Yeah, a lot of people
messages.
didn't like the idea of
They
it.
didn't like it at all. So we want to talk to a Manny. And before we chat to actor and former male nanny Sam McArdle, here's a little bit from his new stage show, which is called The Manny.
I should probably get out of the way at the start of the date. I'm a male nanny. I'm the Manny. Like the character from This Is Us. Yeah, haven't seen it. So basically there's a market for male-only nannies in posh West London. Now you might get some other mannies trying to muscle in on your turf. They're mostly unemployed actors.
Good morning, Sam. How are you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Hey, good morning, folks. Thanks for having me.
It's lovely when you got a life experience that can go on and you can get a stage show out of it, which is just very handy, that. Sam, how did you get into the role of mannying, and also what was the reaction to you in that job?
Well, thanks, folks, for having me on. Firstly, good morning. I guess I first got into that job. I come out straight out of drama school. I was just looking for like a flexible part-time job, and a lot of my friends who had graduated before me and who were actors said, "Listen, everybody sign up to this company where you just put your photo on the website, and all the mums come and choose which manny they want." And so it just seemed like a fun gas job. I'd never looked after any younger siblings before, but I did it for about 3 years. And I was really, really lucky with the families I got. So they were really lovely, and I got on quite well with them. And you'd be looking after kids from all different kind of ages. So you would be like I was actually looking after babies at one point, 5 and 10-year-old boys. And then sometimes you'd be looking after like teenage girls. So it'd be different ages and kind of different situations.
You mentioned there that the mums go and pick which manny they want, because reports we've read about this, like there's some dads are not too happy about a manny coming into the household. I mean, is that something you encouraged, or did you find that like there was no difference between you, a manny, and a nanny?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I wouldn't think there's any difference between like a male babysitter or a female babysitter. Sometimes, like, to be honest, most of the families I looked after, they would be the parents would still be together. A couple of families, I would have looked after maybe 7 families in the 3 years I did it, and maybe like a handful would have been single parents, and maybe like one or two of the dads would be like, "Okay, who's your man?" But most of the parents got on really well, gone really well with the dad as well. But yeah, sometimes it'd be like, you might get a little bit of weird tension sometimes.
But that's the stereotype we hear of all the time of, like, you know, when you see it on TV, it's like, I'm never hiring a Brazilian nanny. Like, I'm not having a young one from Brazil coming into the house. But for you, because you can understand, like, the male influence in the house, if it is a single parent, a single mom. You were doing all this in affluent West London, shall we say. What was the reaction? Like, we talked about it last week, and some people were like, I would never hire, I don't think that they've got the same caring capabilities as a woman.
Men don't have the same bond with kids.
Which I thought was mad.
Very strange.
What was the reaction to male nannies there?
I guess for the families I worked for, you'd be coming in for specific roles. So like some of the boys will be turning 12 or 13, and it's a mixture of you're bringing them to school, or you're helping them play football. Once or twice you have to teach the kids how to shave, or like some of the kids might be like 10 or 11, and the mum or dad might be away a lot of work, and they said, "Here, will you just teach the kid how to cook?" Or maybe once one of the little boys was having a bit of trouble, and the mum was like, "Can you teach him how to throw a punch?" So yeah, you'll have different situations like that. Yeah. So.
And you've written a play about this, about your experience now. Because listen, I have kids. When I look after them, it is chaos. So when you're looking after these kids, I mean, and you've written a play about it, like, what sort of funny stories have you brought into it that you look back on?
Well, so the story of the Manny is kind of a black comedy, and I kind of wrote it when I moved back here from Dublin after coming from London, and I'd come out of drama school, and I've been quite fortunate, signed with a big agent, did some cool work, and got close to a lot of big projects. But I came back to Dublin, a bit defeated. I'd lost my confidence in acting. I moved back in. My parents couldn't get a job, was on the dole, and feeling pretty sorry for myself. And I had a couple of lean years. And I just, around me, I was 29, 30 at the time, and all my friends were getting married, had great jobs. Everybody's LinkedIn careers just seemed to be going like this. And I kind of felt like I'd been missing out on life, or I hadn't achieved my potential. So I kind of wanted to write a show about, I guess, unrequited dreams, that sense of not being fulfilled, being a bit lost in a big city. And even though they're quite heavy themes to do, I kind of wanted to present it in a way that, you know, will invite the audience in gently. And I just remember thinking about that mad job I used to do looking after kids. So that's why I wanted to use the template of a male nanny working for rich single mums. He's living in the big city and he feels a bit displaced where he is and not doing what he wants to do. And so he meets these two different characters. It's a one-man show, all played by me. He meets a disillusioned actress called Molly, who wants to be a star on Hollywood, but instead she's selling beetroot brownies on Broadway Market. And then he meets this little kid called Michael, who's the product of a right-wing, loveless marriage in posh West London. And he actually needs this morally grey figure of the Manny, and they both kind of need each other. So it's just a 70-minute show about how all three of these characters meet each other and are changed by each other over the course of the play.
Well, fair play to you for going out and creating your own work from your life experience. It's called The Manny. It's going to be on in London, and someday, I don't know, it might be coming home to Ireland at some stage. Sam McArdle, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much for having me on, guys. Have a great day.
Sam. Great to chat to you. Listen, Sam, it's something I'd love to hear from people at home as well, is a Manny. Is it something that you would be more than happy to encourage? Is there any difference between a Manny and a nanny?
Yeah, 0896 111 111. Now for a look at what's still to come, it's over to Alan.
Yeah, I think I need a Manny.
It was after he saw him, wasn't it? You're some pup. Oh
Listen, Vern was a bit hot as the collar there as well. She was just a bit, Sam.
Alan's going straight onto the website.